All right, now make sure no one says any of the racist stuff we were just talking about, okay? That is the
Got
most
it.
important part.
He started recording already, you idiot.
Oh, fuck! Oh, shit!
To be fair, the racism was mostly Eric.
Fair.
Yeah. No, but the sexism.
Darian Jordan, why'd you have to point that out? I'll totally show this to all of the future generations.
It's fine. I will claim the sexism.
You will claim the sexism.
Wait, who's the guy with the age?
That's mine right there. That sexism right over here. Yeah, bring it in. It's like you're ordering some fucking like sandwich at a restaurant.
Who got the ageism? Your grandpa and grandma.
The nationalism's over this way.
And who got just being a regular, all right person? All right, Michael, here you go.
Universal
Hey,
bigot.
thanks.
Universal bigot. We got universal bigot here.
Oh, I think that's for another table. I mean, I'll take it if it's like complimentary, of course.
I think that's for Turtle.
No, that's weeb. That's where we throw Deotar. Just trash weeb.
I like how
do you
this
guys
is
have
all
any-
being recorded, by the way.
Yeah. Though I will say, I wouldn't mind some dietism.
Ooh. You can't get that from every restaurant, though.
Can we
You know,
start the game now, please?
Fair enough. Anyway, so Seamus and Braxton were sitting in their we're having a nice drink.
And then Sunny showed up.
Anyways, Braxton, everything went pretty good down in the well. With the undead and everything. I'm glad we all pulled through that.
Yes, of course. Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I had to get a little. Things got a little bit hairy back there, but it was just so we could all survive. And yeah, no. Well, what you did back there too with the whole flying and stuff, like probably saved a good amount of our lives and stuff by making sure you didn't get hit by literally anything.
I mean, the flying thing is a bit of a new thing, to be honest. I've only been able to do it for the last few weeks.
Oh, really? Last few weeks? Oh, of course. No, that's really surprising.
Yeah, to be fair, I was after the wings started sprouting for the first time, I kind of suspected I'm not exactly 100% human.
Oh, well, even if you start sprouting wings, does that necessarily mean you're not human? Still die, you still drink.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not mortal. I just, it does bring in the questionability of my pure human heritage sort of thing. I mean, I don't know if I'm part Arakakra or what, but it's a bit of an oddity.
Hey, Jordan, would I recognize this guy as an ASMR? Seeing as how I am one?
Sure, roll me.
Okay.
Roll me
Sure,
history
now
with
roll.
advantage. Yellow.
I mean, technically your ASMRism comes in a different form, so it's possible. Oh, well, I would say with a 21.
Yeah. You know that he's a different type of ASMR as well.
No, yeah. Well, I have a little bit of experience through my various tomb exploring and research and general living. You're what's called, you know what? You were close with Aarakocra because they do have wings and they do have 2 A's in the beginning for no reason. But you are an ASMR.
Gesundheit.
No, that's you know what? Thank you very much, but that's it's more like a race or a group, a lineage. Basically, some kind of celestial blood got mixed in somewhere, and then you inherited it, or some celestial being went like, "Hey, that Seamus fella right there, he's cool," and then gave it to you or something. Something along those lines. I'm not necessarily sure. You should have gotten like, some context from somebody.
Wait, hold up. You're saying Are you saying I'm part angel?
You could be unicorn.
Well, that'd be different.
Yeah, it's completely arbitrary. Like you may not even be part angel. You're just like 1.1% of one. You know what I mean? Like,
Huh.
it's a good thing to have, of course. I mean, you can sprout rings, and usually people are like, oh, hey, so you're part deity. That's cool, and then they like you a little bit more. But otherwise, it's like it shouldn't have many. This realization shouldn't have a lot of moral sort of conundrums for you. At least that's how I treat it.
But wait a minute. What do you mean you treat it?
Oh, man, I'm really bad at keeping secrets, aren't I?
Well, you do tend to
Indeed
go on a
you
bit,
are.
Braxton.
Hey, well, so yeah, I'm kind of similar to you, but not exactly, really. You know how I said there's like you could be part angel, a part unicorn, a part, I don't know that many other celestial deities, but they probably exist. But yeah, no. So since there's different sorts of those people, like there's different gods, and they're all sort of celestial, right? So like if you're a kid of like an evil one, you could have different weird wings or whatever.
Ah, I gotcha. So, you're one of these Asamotters as well.
Yeah, but differently. I can't sprout the whole flying wings. I can sprout different wings, but they hurt everyone around me.
Ah, good to know. Remind me not to get around you when you sprout those wings.
Oh, and it's not even really like they come in my back or anything. It's literally like it's literally just light that appears. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's something.
Yeah, no, of course. But yeah, usually, at least according to my studies, is some sort of celestial navigator. I assume I can learn this stuff with a 21, Jordan. By the way,
Yes.
some sort of celestial navigator, or like a boss or something should have contacted you and go like, oh hey, you're kind of special, and you should like go kill somebody because they're evil or whatever.
Nothing like that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. I mean, the strange thing is, it hasn't really happened to me. Like, I think I have maybe seen something in a dream, but it's mostly just been me on my own.
Huh. Well, to be fair, ever since I picked up my father's sword, I was able to do things I wasn't able to do before. I kind of at the point wondered if the wings might have just been a byproduct of that.
Oh, is there something interesting about your father's sword?
Well, I mean, well, to be honest, I wasn't exactly the how to put it, the most law-abiding child when I was a kid. Kind of had to do what I needed to do to survive to take care of me and my ma.
Of course, I completely understand. Yes, life can be tough for a lot of different people.
Oh yeah, well, in any case, I was trying to well, let's just say I was in a certain and he uses quotation marks, guild, which had sort of tariffs to be part of. If you get my gif,
You mean your gist?
yes, my gist.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, you don't need to go. The fact that you're willing to sort of reveal anything to me, no questions asked. I won't pry unless I feel like it's really interesting to pry. But yes, of course,
Well, in any
those
case,
things crop up.
I was there for a few years, and then my ma found out, and let's just say she didn't want me to do it, so I tried to leave the guild. They didn't take quite very kindly to it, and came after me and my ma. They wasn't much of a fighter back then, and it looked like things were pretty down, and I just saw my father's sword there hanging by the fireplace, and picked it up to fight, and lo and behold, out of nowhere, I suddenly knew how to use a sword. Never picked one up in my life before.
Oh, well, that is interesting.
I
I mean, I guess you just inherited natural talent.
suppose that's how it happened. It's an
Yeah.
oddity, to say the least.
No, of course it is. Do you have your father's sword on? Oh, so by the way, I should definitely ask, what sort of state of being is your father and mother right now? Like, we never went over the whole, he's dead or left or
Well,
demon or.
my mother's alive, and I suppose it doesn't hurt to tell you I have her shipped up in a small village. I've been sending money to her every once in a while to keep her safe.
Oh yes, of course. Make sure not to mention the village here, just in case
Oh!
certain people start going looking. But yes, of course.
I wasn't planning on it, but
Hmm.
the fact of the matter is, me father, well, he left when I was a little baby.
Ah,
I mean,
and he left his sword.
I left a sword. I don't know why. My mother said he left it to keep us safe or something, but which is weird since apparently he left to go to some war or something or other. I don't even know what war it was.
No, yes, of course. I could, if you would like, start seeing if I have any previous notes and or memories about whatever event that is. If you could give me when you were, like what year old you were and like where you were located. Because you were from Baldur's Gate, right?
Aye, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of in the Sword Coast sort of area, and then I went over to Chult in my later days. So yeah, maybe I know some, but I'll look into it later.
That'd be much
Yeah,
appreciated.
do you have
Braxton.
that sword handy to you? Like,
Well, of
is
course.
it okay if I see it?
He,
Yeah.
he brings the sword out. That it's the sword he's been carrying this whole time. All right, here.
Yeah, of course. Mind if I, pick it? Yeah, if he's okay with it, I'm just gonna look at this sword all ooh, is this sword special? Is there any like clear magical runes on it or anything? Like, of course I don't have detect magic or identify or anything. So like whatever I can get just by looking at the thing, you know what I mean? And if there is nothing, there's nothing.
I mean, it looks like a fairly basic, well-made longsword for all intents and purposes. I mean, it's finely made, very well balanced, but no magic would be detectable by it by any sense. It's not a magical weapon.
It's
No-
not like exuding like purple mist all the time. Right.
No, right? So it seems odd, but I guess since you're a fellow Asimar, you do get like a light comfort from it.
This is a mighty fine sword, and of course, it is the average boyhood dream just to pick up a fine sword and become a great fencer. And I guess what happened to you is just a manifestation of that dream. I mean, good job. And then I'll hand the sword back.
The fact of the matter is, I literally can't use any other blade but this one. I tried.
Oh.
I'm terrible with them.
Oh, huh. Then yeah, that sword must be special and connected. I felt a little bit of something, but I do not. I've already got enough stuff that I don't understand on top of me, so definitely keep your father's sword. But that is definitely warrant investigation and book learning and all that.
Oh,
I don't. It's one of those things where I really want to have the answers, and if that is like some important artifact where some legendary swordmaster got stabbed with it, and his soul was locked in there, and then he transferred his techniques onto whoever wields said blade. But I have no idea.
well, let's make two of us. By the way, there, Sonny.
What? Oh, Sonny, hi. Yes, you're there.
How can I help you?
I finished writing up that song of yours.
Oh, excellent. I am excited to hear it.
Oh, aye, it's a good pub drinking song. I might have to teach it around here for the people of Barovia.
Stares at you expectingly.
Ah, I suppose you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, Braxton was just like, okay, or next step.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would indeed.
Ah, okay, well, mind you, it's still in the earlier ages, but it's called Faye and the Robot. Oftenly named after the two people it's about. In any case, go a bit like this. Takes out his little flute that he has and just plays a quick tune on it for key purposes. It's like, well, the Fae told us how his kind would steal children away. The robot just looked at him and said, "That's wrong in every way." The Fae gave a shrug and said, "That's what Fae lords do." The robot looked back at us and says, "Doesn't that seem wrong to you?" We met in Barovia, the land that with no end. One's a soulless and feeling machine, the other's my robot friend. We came across a lovely lass who father had just passed. The friendly Fae went up to her and tried to tap her ass. A robot friend looked at the lass in her face saw with dismay. He told the Fae to stand next to him and sit his ass and stay. We met them in Barovia, the land with no end. One's an unsealing soulless machine, the other's my robot friend. A robot friend went down a well to fight the walking dead. The archer shot an arrow down which exploded by the robot's head. We emerged from the deepest well and asked the Fae what was that. The Fae said, "I thought you'd dodge," and we realized he was just a prat. And we met him in Barovia, the land with no end. One's a soulless and feeling machine, the other's my robot friend. Anyways, those are the first few verses I got so far.
Yeah.
During that entire song, Braxton was fucking like wooing and cheering. It was awesome. Also, Heath, just do that every session, and then that's our recap. You know, there you go. Just make a new song up, and then yeah, it was pretty succinct of our last session.
Pretty much was it.
Your musical inclinations are on full display, my friend. I quite enjoyed your song, despite its numerous inaccuracies.
Well, you have to have a bit of a flair to make the rhyme scheme work.
A sort of artistic liberty, if I am not mistaken.
Indeed. And let's be honest, most of what happened there is more or less happened in one form or another.
I suppose you are not incorrect in that statement, although, as stated before, your song is not entirely accurate, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Yes, it was interesting.
Well,
That was an amazing song, and you should definitely like play it in a lot of different places. No, I'm being serious here. I'm pretty sure you would like rock the house and make a good amount of silver and stuff.
I think I might spread it around Barovia after a few more lyrics as well. I have a feeling it'll add on as we go.
Oh yes, of course.
At about this time, a knock at the door.
Oh, yes, come in.
Outside door.
Oh, okay. Boy, they knock really loud that we can hear it like two
Oh,
stores
wait,
up and like.
wait. Do I know that shit about vampires and not being allowed in places if you don't invite them in?
It's an iron lock, so theoretically, yes, you can actually hear it on the second floor.
Oh, fair enough.
Is anyone going to inform the owners of the house of this, or are we just going to let Aldrin answer it?
Well, I mean, he's already on his way over there.
I mean, we could follow, of course, and like see.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's
Yes. Yes, hello, who is this?
You hear a deep voice just go, "The Dread Lord of this domain."
Well,
The Dreadlord of this domain. Who?
Well, Elgin thinks for a couple seconds and opens the door.
Boy, Michael, you just
greeting.
had to jinx it, didn't you?
Good
Why?
Yes. Magnificent evening. When you say Dreadlord of this domain, could you, forgive me, sir, properly do your titles and name, of course, one as noble as yourself look.
Hmm.
Is this
You are
Drain of the Feywilds.
Aldrin, who is at the door?
Strahd von Zarovich, ruler of Barovia and master of Castle Ravenloft.
Okay,
Wait,
Aldrin is gonna hear that, nod, turn around, cough, and say, in like an old medieval herald, Strahd von Zarovich, master of Barovia and lord of Ravenloft. We just
Oh.
enter the realm, enter the domicile.
Braxton is shaking his head. No. What the fuck? No.
Seamus just kind of leans into Braxton and goes, I don't know about you, but I got a bit of a bad feeling about this.
Ah,
Fucking Braxton just like gives him an "oh really" look. Are you sure?
Sonny will start approaching the door, and he said, "Ah, Mr. Strahd von Zarovich. I had been meaning to ask questions of you. If it is okay with you, sir."
He gives like a proceed gesture.
I have been told that you are one of what is known as a vampire, correct?
Just gonna come out and say
Rather
it.
forward, but yes.
May I ask, what is your general disposition to the people of Barovia?
I am the ruler of this land.
So
do-
you're
But do you care for your people, or do you think of them as disposable?
That is a fairly loaded question, Warforged.
Oh, you know what I am. That is a refreshing change of pace.
The hell's a
yeah.
But
Of course,
if
you must care for your people as all nobles do, i.e., the noble of Gaze.
Indeed, but sometimes a king needs make sacrifices. Should one lead a war host, and one part of it be ambushed, one needs to sacrifice it to
Hmm.
to ensure the rest of the army's prosperity.
That is a fair point, if I would be honest. But I have a question of you on more practical matters. It
Well,
seems the
as entertaining as standing on the precipice of this manor is,
Oh, apologies, but this is not my abode. I cannot invite you in. If you would like, I can go ask the master of this house if you are allowed in.
Yes, yes, guest rights don't give us the time to, or ability to, ask other guests. Forgive us, of course. You understand the rights and procedures. I understand.
indeed, is the burgomaster home. He
Let-
says that looking at Ismark, essentially on the stairs.
What's Ismar's entire feel right now? What's he look like? Does he look like a ghost in a human form?
No, at this point, Ismark has essentially done everything to make himself in a battle ready stance, besides drawing his swords.
Oh.
Anya will
Okay.
say, "Just a moment, sir," and I will look up, see Bismarck, and I'll say, "Ah, Burgermaster Ismark. You have a guest here in the form of the Dread Lord Strahd von Zarovich. He is requesting entry into your abode."
Well,
Ismark takes a long while and just nods.
well, Aldrin moves out of the way and like does a flourishing bow and points in. He's like, "Well then, Dread Lord Strahd, welcome."
Okay.
Might I ask, this Dreadlord, was it an inherited title? Was it a war title?
It is something that the locals call me.
Look, yes, your vassals can. It's how the vassals treat the lord. You can really tell the family.
Is there some place that we should sit down and talk, Burgermaster?
Imagine getting a room specifically ready for this.
This is our curse.
Indeed.
This is our Curse of Strahd living room. Just
Just go here for the sake of convenience. And in the manor house, there is actually a meeting chamber. I just it's on the first floor, and that's the second floor layout. But it contains. Let me just open up. It contains a fairly well furnished long table made out of a dark oak wood, several chairs, a blazing fireplace, and it is fairly well decorated.
As we take our seats, Sunny will say, "Oh, and forgive my rudeness. I forgot to introduce myself. I am SU-N21. May I ask how your day has been, sir?"
I tripped on a roof.
That is unfortunate.
No, he doesn't actually say that. It's just funny to think about.
His face changes for a whole second, and it gives you that entire story, and then he switches back.
Essentially, his face changes for but a second, and in that second, you just get, I tripped on a fucking roof. I have access to spider climb. You don't understand this shit. I can not only just spider climb, I could also be mist and fly at will. And yet I still somehow tripped. You do not understand this.
We all have our
Doesn't
bad
say any-
days.
No, he doesn't say any of this, but you can see it in his eyes. He's very bitter about it.
Understood. But anyway, but does he respond besides that or no?
He looks at the four of you and is Mark like at the door, battle ready, as if about to just charge an enemy. And he just goes, I was curious about the new visitors. We do not get many of those.
Sunny will tilt his head in curiosity and say, "Then it was not your doing to which we have found ourselves in your lands."
Were you dragged here by werewolves at the dead of night, kicking and screaming?
No, we were handed a letter, and then I had for the first time in my existence experienced unconsciousness, and then awoke in Barovia.
Ah, pranked by the Vastani.
Did Sean fucking Zarovich just say pranked?
Essentially.
Oh my god, I want to
Well then, it seems as though the people of Barovia, the town anyway, are seeming to be struggling with a sort of epidemic.
Yes.
One that you helped alleviate, by my understanding.
Well,
Yes, one. Sorry,
Oh.
please go on, my humble metal friend.
thank you. Yes, we have found the source of the plague. However, we do not know how the undead found themselves in the well to begin with.
Yes, weird thing finding rotting, moving bodies in a well. You'd think people would notice that walking on the streets before it took a tumble.
I assume we're all back in the parlor still. If I may, really quick, I guess since they've already invited you in to catch out of the bag, and we should all introduce ourselves and go into that meeting room, because I'm pretty sure if a fight was going to break out, we would have been slashing at each other already.
Oh no, Ismark over there has been harboring the daydream that one day he will slay me.
well,
As a kid, he would oft proclaim to his father that one day he will raid Castle Ravenloft and slay the horrible monster living within. And as he mentions that, almost word for word, Ismar kind of grows paler.
Well, it's
To
always
be
good
fair,
to have big
he's-
aspirations in life.
Yes,
and to be
yes.
fair, he may yet do that still.
And of course, I'm sure there's more than one horrible monster that lives in your house.
Yeah, I'm sure your wives can be quite a chore.
I meant like how he said he literally hires werewolves to kidnap. You know, it's yeah.
Why
Okay.
why do you do that? Out of my own curiosity.
He looks at the Warforged and just as a joke goes, live with my wives or kidnap people with werewolves.
I assume that is an attempt at humor, correct?
Yes, it was, Sonny. I'll help you out here, bud. It was.
Ah, I see. Very amusing. But it still leaves my question unanswered.
Well, one needs to entertain the beast with something, and they do enjoy frolicking in the other dimensions, besides this one. I very rarely use them for specific purposes. I simply allow them passage through the mists.
I'm still confused. Are we speaking about his wives or the werewolves?
Probably both.
Are you
really?
married, Mr. Strahd von Zarovich?
To werewolves?
That or any other creature?
I have not had the pleasure, no.
That is unfortunate. I am told it is a very pleasurable experience falling in love. Though, if you ever do, I could be the one to organize and execute your wedding.
Yes. Execute the wedding. My good. But you know, marriage. You must know as a bachelor noble that spice of life is as variety, is it not?
Seeing that, roll me an insight.
Okay, let's hope my garbage insight actually does something. Let me.
Okay, yeah, 20. That's the highest you can get.
This is the women is the one thing Algin knows for sure. Yes.
Do
You
you
did
know?
just get turned down a bit. Look. He did just get turned down, like, literally earlier in the day. You know what I mean?
Indeed. There is, you didn't fail it by much, but you gathered there was something in that sentiment that annoyed him.
Don't talk about women in front of Strahd. Got it.
Not the quote unquote women, the variety part. Like it didn't anger him in a way, it just annoyed him.
Seeing this, Aldrin quiets down and says, says to him, or are you the one who is hoping out for true love and your one and destined one?
Oh boy, we're prying in deep here, boys. Session one with Strahd.
We are getting.
Look,
It
Braxton's
was
just
like-
waiting for a lag in the conversation to fucking just go like, so why are you here?
It's like,
Oh,
One
don't.
must entertain their guests before going on to the hard questions. This is
It's a fucking true love. This is a hard question.
I think we
I'm-
might be getting a little bit on the your understanding of small talk might be a bit extreme.
Wait,
Indeed.
you guys don't constantly describe your woeful romances and heartfelt desires constantly with your fellow companions?
It-
Oh, we just met the man. Is he a companion yet?
I mean, he was invited. we brought out wine and crackers.
That
and
is a
food.
guest.
Now, I
Well,
apologize.
guest
for
rights
the-
are guest rights.
Yeah,
I-
it doesn't mean I need to bear my entire soul.
As they're arguing, Sunny will just look at Strahd and say, I apologize for their outbursts. They seem not to be the most well versed in conversation.
No, Eladrin
I-
never was.
I
They're way too chaotic for just maintaining a conversation overall.
Now, if I may ask, though, back to more practical matters. There has apparently been a series of disappearances here in town. Would you happen to know anything about that, or could provide aid in solving such a mystery?
I indeed could.
And would you be willing to do so for the people of your lands?
You seem awfully concerned for my people, Warforged.
I am concerned for any being in need of assistance. It is my purpose to help those in need.
And what creed do you follow? Which deity do you worship?
I am a follower of the sun god Pelor. His light had granted me a soul, and I wish to repay him in any way possible.
He kinda cocks an eyebrow at that. Souls are not thing to be granted, Warforged. No god can give you a soul.
Perhaps.
You're either born with it or you do not.
I do not believe I was initially born with a soul, but my experiences had taught me that perhaps his light had blessed me with one. An empty vessel made whole.
Interesting.
but
You s-
yes.
You seem
Get-
bothered by the concept. Did I offend you?
No, it is just a fascinating bit of research.
Hmm.
As foreigners, I do not know if you are familiar, but a certain amount of Barovians are born without souls.
Husk, as they are called, correct?
Ah, so you are aware of it.
Only the lightest of the details. I am still quite unfamiliar with anything more in depth.
Jesus.
I mean, I must say though that being without a soul isn't all that bad. There are many Fae without any, and very rarely does it really affect their personality or themselves.
I mean, all these talk about souls and stuff seems a bit unnecessary. I mean, what is a soul after all?
I presume it's the thing that makes a person. At least that's what some scholar or priest or good person has said to people in the courts as well as that. So, meh. I say it's something that lets you walk around and not be bothered by plainer law.
It is the thing that gives one vita or agency. If you observe a husk for long enough, you will notice a certain trend. They simply exist. They that is the best way to describe it. They neither pursue pleasure or avoid pain or have any desires of their own. They simply do the absolute bare minimum to survive.
Well, I
Your
mean,
definition of the soul, I find, is mostly accurate.
Well, but weren't you speaking of aiding us in your finding your lost people? As I assume this was why you were here.
No, I came here to reward the heroes that solved the plague conundrum quite so Obviously.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's very kind of you, my lord, but don't know if we necessarily need a reward. We're just kind of doing our stuff.
Hush, please. What reward?
I had
I
no
was
involvement in the any sort of well thing. I've just been hanging out here drinking alcohol. You may continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
I was going to triple whatever Ismark was going to pay you as your mercenary fee.
Was is Mark gonna pay us?
He did promise a reward for solving either or.
How do you know that?
I know many things.
Then couldn't you have solved the plague yourself then?
Just kind of like.
I mean, why pay mercenaries when you can keep your wealth and
For he
I'm
is
sorry,
the Lord
I'm
of
sorry, my friend Braxton here seems to have come down with a cold. Let me get him a
Now,
sneeze.
Seamus, you fucking.
Aldrin.
I'm sorry.
It is common for lords and nobles to pay mercenaries to solve these problems for them, for their time is more valuably spent elsewhere.
But all nobles must guard their people, for they are bound to them as they are like a branch bound to a tree. Can you please be quiet, Seamus? As I this is the tenet of nobility that all nobles must guard their charges, their subjects, with absolute authority and protection. For without their subjects, they are not noble, but nothing. For it is as said it is said at the beginning of time that one must be a slave to their charges as they are to themselves.
I see. I see. And in that everlasting wisdom, should one of your charges rebel against you, what punishment is suitable?
One that requires tradition and understanding, and obviously, if the rebellion is harmful, ungratiating, and power hungry, then they must be punished fully. But if it was due to a mistake, a misunderstanding, or the inability of the lords to care for his charges, then by right of law and understanding, the lord, should be punished.
I see. Then may I humbly request you of your opinion. You see, the town of Valaki has a burgomaster that has openly rebelled against my rule. He has subjected the people in said Valaki to his madness for well over 10 years now. I have continued this to transpire mostly because I do not wish to lay waste to the city just to apprehend one madman that will die in what seems to be 10 or 20 short years.
Oh, that seems most gracious of you.
Then yes, I do understand. You've rather continue the legacy than risk it all in a single wasteful stroke.
So I should simply stand idle and let this madman rule over.
From my understanding, you are like myself, nearly immortal. What does time and mortal conjuries mean to you?
And yet the people under him are subjected to his mad laws and whims. Even now, at the very least, 4 people are starving in his cells for not participating in his. And he makes the Barovian air quotes festivals.
Hmm. Then it seems you do have precedent and evidence of his unlawful and rebellious nature. Thus, you have a right to punish him fully.
However, if I may interject,
Why
would
not?
I would suggest doing so carefully in such a way that harms no other people, and to instead try to reason with the individual at hand.
But if he continues, you say he continues this madness, right? Spreads it among the people.
No. It is more as if he enforces it via Isaac, his, well, for the lack of a better word, his brute.
Then, good lord, do you not have men strong and loyal, such as that black coachman of yours, to deal with this problem for you?
He kind of smiles and says, very well then, I shall do so.
Did you
Uh,
come here for our permission? We are but travelers.
No, I came again. I came here to reward you. The interesting lecture on rulership was just a bonus I got.
Can Seamus make an insight check to see if Lestrade is starting, how Lestrade's like personality is taking this?
Yep, go for it.
I'll point out that
17.
it's very
Yeah, Seamus. Whoever this Isaac is and this Burgomaster and anyone who they loved, Aldrin just doomed them to a horrible fate.
Oh, I thought as much.
If I may,
So, so-
Lord Strahd,
Yes.
if you are intent on persecuting this burgomaster, may I make a suggestion on the proceedings?
Of course.
I would suggest a diplomatic route before any sort of other forms of punishment are to be enacted. To set a good example and to show people mercy before violence often seems to be a ruler's best weapon.
yes, carrot before the stick.
or maybe this is me just being crazy. You could just not do anything. Now, hear me out. You said how you lock people coming in for entertainment and stuff. And I mean, he literally holds festivals and stuff. And if they're not entertaining, then he's doing a bad job. But if I mean, if I was a lord, which I used to be, and there was like a small group of people who were insignificant or like, yeah, we're gonna rebel, it's always a lot more fun just to see them kind of brood and see how far they get before you crush them.
Braxton, you are a lord?
On the DL.
But
Yes.
anyway, Dread Lord Strahd, I would be most interested if we could have more discussions of theology in the future and shoot, Michael's forgetting the word. Philosophy. There, philosophy. Is there a chance we could arrange another meeting in the future?
Yes, these
What the fuck was
discussions-
that?
Eric's
Yes.
slamming his fucking desk, but I've broken it like 3 times over the course of this conversation, basically. So I did it gently.
I know. I was like, we're gonna.
It's fine. The conversation's going swimmingly. All you've done is kill a bunch of people without realizing it, using Strahd as a weapon, and
And we're actively giving tips and advice and helping a guy who we've literally been told is the devil and is the dread. Like, he's not a nice man. Why
Hold
are
on.
we doing this?
Hold on.
Because
Hold
people,
on. Because hold on. Well, I'll tell you Sonny's reasoning for things later. But for now, if we may set up another appointment, I would love to make regular chats with you, as you seem to have many fascinating and interesting points of view.
yes, I also would love to speak with you again. It's been such a long time since I could speak with another nobleman. And I was planning on going to that village anyways, and I may be able to deal with your problem for you. From one nobleman to another, of course.
no, it's quite all right. I will lend you some aid in regards to the missing persons.
Ah, thank you, Lord Strahd. The aid will be much appreciated.
Yes, yes, as true. Cheese, as he takes out he's the smorgasbord of cheese and crackers and like and like raises it to him.
Strahd kind of looks at you confused.
Oh, yes, that is correct. How rude of me not to offer. And I will go into my bag and say, here, for you, have a lollipop.
It's quite delicious, I must say. A
Okay.
true delicacy.
I'm assuming
Yes.
at this point Braxton and Seamus are just looking at each other like, we're dead, aren't we?
Braxton has turned into a chameleon and is now one with his chair and hoping to blend in by making himself as small as fucking possible, and is looking at all the fucking exits. Yeah. This is why?
You two are a delight. Very well then. Warforged. Your
Yes.
your task lies in two parts, a difficult and a easy one. Which one would you like to undertake? I shall undertake the other as part of your reward.
I shall always travel the road more difficult, so that I may set a good example for those who would follow.
I see. Very well. If you wait about a day in this city, a elderly woman by the name of Morganta will appear. She sells what she refers to as dream cakes. Those are actually the remains of people she has hunted, ground down in the old bone mill, and magically enchanted to give whoever eats them a brief escape from Barovia. She is a being called a night hag. She and her three sisters reside in the old windmill. And her
Aldrin,
two sisters, my bad.
can I say this? Aldrin, hearing Night Hag, visibly gets angry and
And
starts swearing in Sylvan.
and as he's doing that, Sonny will just ignore it and he will say, and this is the woman who is responsible for the disappearances.
Some of them, yes.
And she has been killing innocent people to make these cakes.
Yes.
Can I tell if he's telling the truth?
Sure. Insight.
Oops. 11.
I wonder if I can willingly fail this.
I mean, if it's not a deception check, then I guess. I don't know.
You gather that he seems honest. Ismark thinks he seems honest.
Very well. I shall try to deal with these night hags in such a way. They are fiendish creatures, if my memory banks are accurate, correct?
Actually, they're fake.
They're the worst fae, the hags and mistresses of the unseelie court. And you can see Aldrin is starting to go golden, and like it starts to get warm around him as he starts swearing more and more as he says this. They just how long? And he turns to Strahd, like angry eyes. How long have they been here?
These three have been in my domain for about a year, I believe.
Good Lord Strahd, do you happen to know their names?
If memory serves, Morganta, Ophelia, and he kind of thinks for a moment and just goes, the third one's name escapes me.
Do I remember these names or have heard of them?
I'll tell you this as outside of character knowledge. Morganta is from outside of Barovia. Both Ophelia and her sister were formed in Barovia.
Yes. For those of us who know how hags are made, which I'm assuming everybody here's got that meta.
So the only one you would like maybe know is Morganta.
Can I do a history check or I don't know, so a check to see if I know much about her?
Go for it. It seems familiar, but
Morganta. Yes, I know of her. I know of the Black Heart of the Night. She's deserved the killing for a long time coming. Those other twos. That name, I've never heard of it before.
I believe they're her daughters or spawn. I have very little interest in them overall.
And I thank you for this information, Strahd von Zarovich. May I ask, what task are you going to undertake in place of the one I accepted?
I shall go forth and kill Father Donovan.
I would like to inquire the reasoning for such a decision.
But a short year ago, his son and a fair bit of peasants, led by a sorcerer from a far off land, raided my castle. I proceeded to defeat the sorcerer and scatter the mob. His son, cursed by vampirism from one of my lesser servants, arrived back in Barovia. The good father could not bring himself to kill his now monstrous son, so he trapped him in a basement and started feeding him.
So you are suggesting Father Donovan has been kidnapping people as well and feeding them to his fledgling vampire son?
I am not suggesting it. I am describing reality.
And do you have proof of this? I have spoken with the good father, and while I am not necessarily the best read of character, he did not seem to be evil.
If you wish for proof, I will make sure it is presented when my part of the task is complete.
May I perhaps suggest trying to reason with Father Donovan before subjecting him to death?
Make me a persuasion.
Oh boy.
Well,
Is
don't
there any
forget your
chance I can use
ability, Michael.
Yeah, I was about to say, can I use my channel divinity, give myself a +5 to that?
Sure.
Sweet. So whatever this is, add 5. Damn. 13.
It's a +5 or a +10?
No, +5 off of that.
Okay, yeah.
Or I believe it's plus. Let me see. Let me double check that.
Might be just +5.
So-
I do know that's like a crazy powerful skill, but it might have been just a +5.
Channel divinity, MCP.
It might
Nope,
get
plus
it might get
5.
stronger later. It might get
No.
stronger later.
It's just a static +5, so 13.
Strahd smiles and says, "Oh, very well. I shan't kill him."
You are not planning on torturing him either, are you?
Well, at this point, you're prying way too much into my rulership, are you not, Warforged?
I simply wish to care for people the best I am able to. I believe no one deserves to be tortured or to be unnecessarily punished.
Very well. I shall make you a final offer. I shall not kill nor torture him.
What of his son? I presume you're going to take charge of it.
I was thinking of destroying it. You see, husks don't give much sustenance to my kind, and having a population of vampire spawn does not seem wise.
And the son, is there no hope of reversing his vampiric state?
Would Strahd know that?
I mean, he is technically the first vampire.
He is technically the first of the vampire, but also, would he know that? Hold on. Well, I rolled a 32.
Well, if he doesn't, nobody does.
So, Strahd looks at Sunny and goes, well, he can be cured in a way, but it will be quite difficult.
If I am to speak frankly, it does not sound as though he had a choice in becoming a vampire, nor did. And if his father is, as you say, keeping him in this basement, it sounds as though he does not have a choice in the matter of his location as well. Circumstances have been taken out of his hands for some time, if I am to understand this situation correctly. It seems
Indeed,
unfair.
but he did have a choice at raiding my castle or not. Did he not? The wizard didn't force him. He simply took a pitchfork and assaulted my home.
Can I
But-
can I incite him to see if he's actually angry about that?
Yeah. He's livid.
If
Aldrin is nodding aggressively in his angry form.
If I may, I am not a ruler myself, just a shepherd for a flock of followers. However, would it not be better to show a kind hand, to show forgiveness for people who have been, shall we say, clearly manipulated against you, and to quell their concern, confusion, scared, and angry feelings by showing mercy?
Make me another persuasion roll.
All right, 10 minutes have not passed, so I still have another +5 to this. So 26.
Very well, Warforged. Very well.
Thank you.
I shall solve this with the gentlest hand I possibly can.
The church is on fire. There's fucking like Latin music on in the background.
Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation and your willingness to listen. It is comforting to know that we may have discussions such as this and see eye to eye.
And on that note, hey, so you said you're going to pay us triple whatever Ismark was offering us, but if you, I would not be where I am if I didn't ask if there was some sort of catch or, gypsy curse or something.
Hush, the Ferrandis.
What?
I'm saying like, instead of gypsies, what was the name of Madame Eve and their people's?
Vastani.
Vastani.
Yes. Braxton. They're called Vistani.
No, there's actually a group called Gypsies that are different from the Vistani, and it's really single-minded of you to, associate them.
Really? Because I've only
Yeah.
met Vistani.
Well, I mean, you do live in the Feywild, so it kind of like your perception of what exists is different.
I suppose that's a wise understanding of the world.
Yeah. Oh, so I made the gypsy thing up. I have no idea what they are. Anyway, yes. So, back to what I asked.
That was amazing. Oops, I just made the gypsy thing up. I don't know what they
Literally called someone a
I
racist.
think
and made us
everyone
laugh.
looked at Braxton like, "Oh, gypsies? What are those?" Ooh.
Anyway, proceeding.
Yeah. What's Strahd reaction to me asking if there's a catch?
He seems almost hurt by the insinuation.
Okay, so he's lying through his fucking teeth. Got it.
Maybe not. Maybe not. He might actually be, if anything else, a man to his word.
No,
Just,
I'm
you have
not.
to make
I
sure
didn't
you
mean to
understand the
offend.
word.
It's just usually
Here, Braxton, for the purposes of this, roll me an insight.
Okay. High, he doesn't believe in it was right. Low, he doesn't believe in it and he was wrong. 5.
Okay. There's definitely some cursed gold in your future.
Yeah, good.
so. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to offend, of course, but usually when someone's like, "Hey, I'm here to pay you back, pay you 3 times the amount someone else is paying," there's usually like a reasoning for it other than good Samaritism. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but
Again, the hurt look continues. Strahd is lawful evil.
I mean, to be fair, Braxton, just because someone's offering us a bonus doesn't mean there's a catch to it.
Yes. Please, Roxanne. Don't you know you're doing a faux pas in polite company by questioning someone's word?
oh, I didn't. I just I didn't mean to question his word. There was a lack of information, really.
We
Like he didn't
It is-
like we didn't even understand why we were getting paid 3 times the amount and why we accrued a bonus per se. You know what I mean? We just know we cured it and we're getting paid more, and that's it.
I mean, sometimes lords just show gratitude.
I guess
Yes.
yes. I apologize.
we cleared a major problem in one of his settlements, thus clearing a long-standing problem which may have gotten worse, thus reducing the Lord's income or
Which,
power.
weirdly enough, hey Aldrin, roll me just an insight, an intelligence check. Or theoretically for you, let me actually see if you're proficient.
I like how Aldrin and Sunny are just having a civil conversation with Strahd, while Seamus and Braxton are pissed scared.
Either history or investigation. You're
Just because
proficient
one
in
of you
them.
literally doesn't have the ability of thinking they're immortal and the other's a robot with no blood to drink, it kind of gives you an unfair advantage of the not being terrified.
You would you would have advantage on this.
One more
Uh,
time. One more time.
Nope.
That's all still good. It's above a 10.
Okay. You're not sure precisely why, but what Strahd is currently doing seems an awful lot like an insult directed at Ismark.
What
Though,
ulterior
like,
motive?
Like your experience in the fake courts have been, let's call them, they
cutthroat?
weren't very attentive, but you get the feeling for some reason this seems like an awful big insult to Ismark right now.
Okay. Seeing this and finally realizing this, Aldrin, straightens up and says, turns to Card and he smiles. And he says, "Well, the reward seems quite substantial, my lord. I must say that we were promised and signed a pact with the good burgomaster here. Thus, we must take his reward. And well, we thank you for the offer. It is only honorable and word bound that we cannot take it." As he dead eyes everyone else.
Seamus was just going to leave in the Braxton. Honestly, I thought he was offering us triple upon what we are going to get. 4 times the reward sort of thing.
I am.
I don't know anymore. I just don't know. I'm gonna go get some wine and drink and hope that this all boils over in a positive light.
Oh, sure, yeah. Let me
Uh,
join you in there. I don't suppose you'd like a glass of wine there, Lord Strahd.
No, I must be leaving soon, as I have a fair amount of work, and do try to not drink too much. You do have a meeting with the night hag in the morning.
Oh,
Yes,
I hate
yes.
forgetting that.
And
Yes,
as
yes, yes.
Yeah. and Sunny will pipe up and say, "Yes, and is it? I thought it was rude though to deny someone a gift they have given you. But
Not,
I
not
will.
if it's. Aldrin puts his hand on Sunny and he kind of like looks me in the eye and he shakes his head.
I do not understand." But as he stands up, meeting Lord Strahd's gaze, he says, "Either way, whether or not you wish to pay us, I appreciate your time." As he holds out his hands.
Yep. Strahd gives you a handshake, weirdly enough.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Dread Lord Strahd Strahd von Zarovich. Shall we? I would appreciate another conversation in the future if it is within your time frame and schedule.
You do seem like a fascinating lot. As he just evaporates into mist.
Oh, Seamus is gonna wait like a few minutes to make sure he's gone, and this
We're
turn.
gonna wait a few hours. We're gonna wait a few hours, Seamus. We're
Oh
waiting
no!
a
As
few
soon
hours.
as he goes, Sunny just says, "Well, that was a lot better than I was expecting. He seemed, at the very least, reasonable."
Sonny,
It's quite amicable.
Aldrin, I enjoy you both. We will be discussing this in 2 hours. Until then, do whatever you want. Stay here, and we'll discuss it in 2 hours. That discussion will be including you, Ismark. So, please try not to have a heart attack in the next few hours.
By the way, Braxton, I think I'm coming up with lyrics for a new song after this event.
Is the title called "We're Fucked"?
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of the Fae, the robot, and the vampire, but we're fucked also kind of works well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you license his name, then you're gonna have to go like the Dreadlord Unmaster, the rest of his name. You know, like you have to give the entire title, and then it doesn't roll off the tongue. Like if he hears you write that song and he knows it refers directly to him, then he may go like, "Hey, there's some licensing issues here."
Yes, yes. Also, his name is Dreadlord Strahd von Verifix.
We don't need to say his name!
What have we said about saying his name, Aldrin? We have discussed this on multiple occasions.
But if you must speak of someone's name, you must do it respectfully and say it fully.
That's
I don't
why
call you-
we're saying his title, the Dreadlord and Master.
You don't need to say the full name.
It's like why we're saying, it's like, instead of saying, "Yo, that's my good friend, Johnny Elizabeth," you say, "King," you know? Don't worry about it.
A title's fine. You can say it's like saying doctor sort of thing. You don't have to always say their full name. Just say doctor.
Yeah, we know who you're referring to.
I met a doctor once, though he had a fascination with this blue box, and one day the blue box was gone, and I never saw him again. He was interesting.
That's nice, Sonny.
What was it, a small box, like handheld or big? You know what? This doesn't.
No,
2
it was
hours.
It was a big blue box.
I bet you it was bigger on the inside. But in any
Did
case,
you ever get his last name?
No, people just refer to him as the doctor. And yes, Seamus, he did say that it was bigger on the inside, though I never saw myself.
Too bad. Well, toodaloos, I'll see you in 2 hours. And Aldrin walks out of the house.
Oh, Christ.
Aldrin, I literally said, "Please stay."
Aldrin continues walking out the house. I'll be back. Don't worry. I must deal with some things.
Well,
She's going to be here tomorrow. Okay, bye. Literally.
can't- He is going to die. But anyway, Sonny looks at both of you and looks at the three people still in the room and he says, "You all seem stressed. Would you like a piece of candy to help calm your nerves?"
no, but I'll take that
2
bottle of whiskey I have there, Braxton.
hours. Yes, we will be drinking this whiskey. And Sonny, thank you for offering. We will be passing it up as of right now.
Very well. If you change your mind, feel free to come back and
I
ask.
will let you know in 2 hours.
Very well. I shall eagerly await the appointment. How about you, Ismark? Would you like a piece of candy?
No, Ismark is currently rifling through his winerator. I actually forgot what the thing is.
An
And
aerator?
just grabbing a couple of bottles here and there.
Oh, his winery, yeah.
Well, a winery is a place that produces. You mean
Oh, yeah,
there's
the-
wine
Right.
cabinets? And
The
stuff.
wine cabinets
You
or
mean his
wine
wine rack.
cellar. Or wine rack,
Yeah.
wine cellar, his...
By the way, do you guys want to take like a 5-minute break? I really have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. I
Yes,
want
okay.
to die.
Okay, be right back.
So, out of a scale between 1 and 10, Eric, how fucked are we?
What? It's one of those things where it's just like Braxton knew that being rude in that situation was bad, and so he couldn't shut up the fucking Algernon robot. I understand that it was an interesting conversation and amazing roleplay, and I love to watch it. But also, Jesus fucking Christ, when the fucking vampire lord who people refer to as a devil shows up on your front goddamn porch, you don't offer him candy and start discussing theology. You just go like, "Hey, why you're here?" Like, you know,
He was quite
and
polite.
you don't invite him in, Ismark.
I mean, to be fair, Seamus's whole thing was thinking this like this is what happens when you have a robot try to make a vampire a better person. We are screwed. She was like, we're getting the hell out of here as soon as we can, right? I mean, the moment
Look.
there's a way out.
Look. All I know is that Strahd's currently gonna try to fuck with Sonny the most because seeing Sonny like logic break down, going like, "But he said he would do it nicely," as everyone's fucking dead. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I expect Strahd is going to be fucking with Sonny this whole game.
No,
Sonny,
you
Sonny, and
you
Algernon are
see,
primary.
what
targets.
Strahd promised was to use as gentle of a hand as possible.
Hey guys, what I miss?
Oh, so he'll rip off someone's arm and use that to kill them because they had nice hands. There we go.
You're on the right track there, but you know,
Wait, what's going on?
I mean, he
you're,
could
you're
also
approaching the correct
You're
answer.
fucked,
he
Michael.
could just turn
That
them
is
all
what's
into
happening.
vampires too, right? It's like I didn't kill them, I converted them into vampires.
I didn't
Yeah.
kill them. I just asked my goons to take care of it. And take care of is drink all of their blood.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, of course.
This
It's
will
a
be
5-minute break.
fantastic. I am hoping. I'm so looking forward to all. By the way, we're fucked. Night Hag. I know what those do. We're fucked. We are so fucked. We are fucked. Fucked.
Oh,
Nah.
yeah, 100%. But Aldrin is bloodthirsty for Unseelie, and he doesn't care if he's probably gonna die from fighting one.
By the way, guys, very sorry, but Sonny knows not fear.
I know he's a dumbass robot.
It's the fact that if Braxton could have interrupted it sooner, he would have. But then the robot and the fucking elf opened the door, and Ismark said yes. Like, if Ismark said no or was just silent for a bit, I feel like Braxton had a chance to go like, "Okay, we can talk out here, and that's it, and let's just get to the point." He could have like maybe stepped in and like gotten that over sooner. And then Ismark said yes, and then you had to prepare cheese for the fucking vampire, and then you had to ask him about his gods, and it's really hard to interrupt him because you don't want to seem rude to the guy who can kill you at any moment. So I just had to let it go.
He was being polite, and thus,
Exactly.
as a nobleman, who you must always be polite, or else, how can you be trusted
He
to
has
be
been called literally Satan.
Yeah.
by other people. You have not personally witnessed him act like that.
I saw him trip on a roof, but that was very malicious tripping he did, sir.
No, I did not even see that myself. Thus,
No,
it's all
I saw
hearsay.
him.
I
Yeah.
like how we have inspired the deaths of 2 families.
Oh yeah, you've just
No,
amassed.
Braxton has literally said he's not getting a part of this reward. Braxton has no fucking ownership over this bullshit.
Oh yeah,
He will not get
Seamus is
paid
not
for
taking.
Bismarck.
Seamus is not taking any responsibility that Sonny has just murdered many people. This is on
No, that was
Sonny and
Aldrin. That
Aldrin.
was all. Nope, that was
Sonny and
all
Aldrin doomed a church and a few people. The Seamus and Braxton are high fiving the fact that we didn't do it. We didn't stop it, but it's like we couldn't have, because that would mean pissing off Strahd.
Seamus and
Ah.
Braxton
I'm
are the
back, by the way.
realists.
See, here's the thing. Guys, Sonny's a very altruistic person. He believes that good can be fostered in anyone.
Yep, and it's gonna get you
Hey,
killed,
we're-
and
we're-
we're
we're
not gonna feel bad about it.
Weirdly enough, Strahd too is a very altruistic person. He too believes that good can be fostered inside anyone.
Yes, good blood.
You see, here's the thing. We're gonna, you know what? This is gonna be a giant like kids show episode, but the kids show went fucking M17 out of the fucking blue, and we're gonna at the end of the episode we're gonna be like, so Sonny, you know the Dreadlord and Master who has been called the Devil and is literally a vampire who is killing people on a whim. He's not a good person.
I believe that.
That is going to be the moral of today's episode, and you need to
That's-
get that moral to stay character continuous, please.
That moral lesson aside, Aldrin, what are you doing?
As soon as Aldrin gets outside, his friendly, smiling demeanor instantly changes. Like he starts getting. If you see him, like I don't know, I doubt anyone would see him, but if anyone saw him, they would visibly see him change gold. Like, and his eyes start turning to like a molten golden color, and like and like if you get near him, he starts to like feel really hot, and he starts marching to he starts marching around until he sees someone, and he goes up to them and in a very like strained voice, do you happen to know of a Madam Eva? I was told by the proprietress of the tavern that she can answer some questions.
The poor little Barovian commoner looks at the glowing Fae, nods, and in a coarse voice just goes, and the Vistani encampment is about a day's travel out to on the Svalich Road.
Too far. Do you know anything of the old bone mill?
It's about 2.5 days travel on the same road.
I see. Thank you, my good man. As he turns around and stalks. Does Aldrin know any like? What does Aldrin know of the Night Hags and their weaknesses and stuff?
Just be considered Arcana. You know what? Let's just give you some general information. Okay, so you are aware that 3 hags form a coven, which essentially gives them
Magic.
extra spells, yes. They are resistant to cold and fire, non-magical weapons. They can't be charmed, and essentially, yeah, they're... To summarize, they are fairly beefy spellcasters.
Aldrin is walking, like he's basically walking around in a circle in town thinking, and he looks at his weapons, and he gets angry, and he's wondering, and he thinks for a second before he heads to the tavern.
I like the fact that the only person in this party that's going to survive a fight with this night hag is probably going to be Seamus.
More than likely. Correct.
How is fighting a night hag the easy one?
That was
I
the
said
hard
hard.
one.
Oh, it was a hard one. Yeah, he chose a hard one.
Oh.
Sorry, Sonny.
Well,
It's literally
I've
one of my
been- I've
tenets.
had
I
my
have
mic-
to lead by example.
No, you're good. I've had my microphone muted for the past, 10, 20 minutes because I've just been crying to myself internally. It's just been, it's just on repeat. Fucking, yeah, okay, yeah, sweet. Sorry for interrupting.
You're good.
How does hey Heat?
Yo,
How does Coven
Coven.
Coven.
a coven?
how does Coven spells work in 5e? They have to be close to each other,
They
right?
have to
Yes.
be within like 60 feet of each other, but they have a single spell pool, but they can all cast a spell on their turn.
Fair.
So, for
Okay.
example, 3 hags could literally cast 3 counter spells, but they only have that one spell pool to work.
So it's a shared spell pool,
Yeah, it's a
basically.
shared spell pool. Basically, it's like if a wizard was split into 3 people. Is the way to look at it, right? They only have that one spell pool, but they can all pull from it.
But they have to
Fair
be
enough.
close.
Yeah, I was thinking about the close part.
Yeah, they have to be within so much feet of each other. I don't know the exact distance, but it should be in the monster's description.
Well, unless the mill's in town, we should be okay, right? Because they
Well,
said they were at a mill.
2.5
No, it was,
days, we just found out.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. He heads to the tavern. Aldrin heads to the tavern, hoping to find the woman there, in the hopes of getting some information.
Weirdly enough, you would only find the barkeep this time around. Still cleaning glasses.
Looking around, he sighs and heads to the barkeep. Good sir, I know this might be a stretch, but I don't suppose you happen to know where one can get his hands on now. Let's say special weaponry, the type that can harm those that cannot be harmed by mundane means.
For the purposes of this, can you roll me a quick persuasion?
Hot damn.
Okay. And with that persuasion, can you roll me a quick intelligence check?
Oh, damn.
Aldrin, you have just discovered the first husk of this campaign. As you notice, his dead, lifeless eyes just kind of look at you, regard you for a second, and pay you little to no mind.
God, what is this? Buddy Eldest by Archfey. What is this stupid city? Aldrin goes out, looks around. Does he know? Did Strahd say where they would find the first night fae, the night hag?
He gave you like quote unquote town location where she sells her wares. Yes.
Aldrin heads over there and starts, scoping it out. Finding good positions, stuff like that.
Yep. Hold on.
imagine back at the other thing. So you think Aldrin's doing anything crazy?
I would suspect he is going to try to hunt down the night hags on his own.
Well, it was good
He
knowing
has
him.
an hour.
She essentially, from what you gather, she sets up stall here, sells whatever she brought, and then leaves.
Do I know what their dream cakes are?
Yes, Soylent Green.
Or like, what does it have any effect?
Well, Strahd essentially gave you the information that they're a type of narcotic. Like you're not sure on the details, but that much at the very least you're aware of.
Okay, so he can climb up here, get up there, start shooting. No, nodding, he returns back to the manor, and just before he enters the door, he brushes himself off, calms down. He starts losing his golden color and returns back to like a warm orange before entering the manor.
This is so weird. You're the first party to actually scope out something, you know? So that's nice.
When he leaves and before kind of like everyone kind of like before like he gets back and stuff like that, Sunny is going to wish to speak with Ismark. Burgomaster Ismark, may I have your time for a little while?
Yes.
First off, I would like to apologize if I have brought you any discomfort in my conversation with the devil.
It was hardly your fault. Also, being his direct subordinate, I couldn't very well avoid it.
Very well. Now, in terms of this night hag in which he had mentioned, I believe him to be truthful in his information, but I would like to inquire about your thoughts.
From what my father has relayed to me, he very, very rarely outright lies. He simply distorts words, uses them against you.
So I must be precise when speaking with him in the future.
May I be honest with you, Sonny?
I would ask nothing less.
I believe you just murdered Father Donovan in a way.
I hope that you are wrong, though I had asked him not to torture or kill him.
Sonny, if half of what Strahd accused him is true, then a lot of people in this city despise Father Donovan. All Strahd would have to do is just inform some of them. At that point, even my guards will not be able to stop the mob.
I see. It is likely that he will try to whip the mob up into a frenzy.
Hey, Aldrin, whilst you're doing that, can you make me a quick perception? This is just a slight retcon, but yeah, you do notice like a hefty bit of people just going towards the rough direction of the church.
Oh, no.
Aldrin starts following them.
Seamus and Braxton
Okay.
are just drinking their whiskey. Go, do you hear something outside?
Yep.
We've got another 45 minutes.
This might actually be relevant in that case, Aldrin. Which form are you currently in?
He's currently in his very angry summer form,
Oh boy.
which is basically very gold.
And are you obscuring that?
No.
No, he's pissed at this moment. He heard unseelie fair here, and he wants to just rip and tear.
Okay. Let me roll a couple of things.
What? Well, hey, you know what? The night hag will get him.
Hey, yeah. Oh, guys.
What's really the worst that could happen to a Fae wandering around in a strange land where everybody thinks he's an evil monster?
I told
mean,
him he
I'm
shouldn't go
golden
out.
I'm golden and literally radiating heat.
Monster, kill it. Easy, done. 2 words.
We just see a windmill on
Okay,
fire.
so couple of good news. Aldrin, for the sake of brevity, you are quote unquote saved by a couple of the burgomaster's men who recognize you, and they essentially discourage the crowd from outright attacking you. They don't have the same luck with the church, however, as in about a short 15 minutes or so, Father Donovan is more or less summarily executed via mob.
Aldrin turns to the guard to help them. He's like, why are they attacking him?
One of the guards turns to you and just explains that a couple of villagers confirmed that Father Donovan has been the person kidnapping citizens. So a couple of the more affected families kind of got together, and then their friends kind of got together with them, and at that point it was a crowd, so everyone joined in.
Okay. Aldrin looking at this and seeing the execution. He's gonna try once everything calms down. People are milling about. He's gonna go up to where the head was dropped. Sigh, pick it up, stuff it in a sack, and start returning back to the manor.
Well, make me an int check real quick. Strahd didn't mention a vampire spawn, and you don't see that here. Would you like to investigate?
Yes, I will actually. As he takes out one of his scimitars as well.
Okay. As you where is the map?
This is gonna be ugly.
Guys, I didn't mean it.
Way to go, Michael. You killed another one.
Hey, what do you mean another one? What do you mean another one?
Hey, you know, the moral of this episode is don't talk to Strahd von Zarovich!
Hey, Michael, roll me. Hey, Michael, roll me a d4 on a 3 or a 4. That Father Donovan was stoned to death. Well done.
Anybody
What
else
would
hear
happen if I rolled a
screaming
one?
followed by loud cracking rocks outside?
Out of curiosity, what would have happened if I rolled a 1 or a 2?
Oh no, it would have just proceeded with the beheading.
Cool.
I just wanted to confirm that you do in fact only kill people with rocks.
Hey, is the church on top of a hill?
Slight elevation, yes.
Okay, so if they do set the place on fire, Seamus, I think that's when we can start making checks, but sadly the church is on the other side of town?
I mean,
So we
I imagine we
Yeah.
noticed a giant mob rampaging towards the church.
I like how I was having this conversation directly after the meeting, and this is all happening.
And Seamus, I was just assuming Seamus and Braxton was like, at this point, it's someone else's problem. Let's just ignore it.
maybe they're mad at something else.
We don't know what's
Strahd
going on.
works quick. Strahd works quick. He has access to the charm, to a charm ability with a save of 17.
Yes, we are.
Hold on,
well aware.
how about we both roll insights and see if we think they're killing the Eladrin? How about that? And that can be our if we get involved or not checks.
Do you care enough for me if I die?
I was about to say.
I honestly think it's one of those like you not being in a conversation if Strahd shows up and has conversations with Sunny would be like at least you both waylay him with information so he doesn't get to the whole murdering us point, you know? He likes talking to you, so he may not kill us as fast. You know what I mean?
Feel areas. There you go. So, I'll okay. So, Aldrin, as you enter the church and proceed to enter this room, you notice that a panel here is slightly loose. As you fiddle with it for a little bit, you discover a basement leading downwards. And the map is not. Oh god, I'm having the Michael problem.
Hey.
You can't see
Hey,
anything?
can anyone see the map?
We can
No.
see white squares and a dude.
Do you have it in the GM layer?
No, because he'd still
No.
see it.
Yeah, GM layer
Yeah.
still means you can see it. Do you want me
Okay,
to check
let
if I
me-
can see it with my DM account?
Hold on, I'll attempt to re-upload it. It should be in my.
No, see what happened for me is I just had to close down my browser and open it up again.
I mean, I see a dude. I
Okay.
just don't see a map. Oddly enough, like the background.
I see the map on the like.
Did you mess with the sizing? Because maybe the map got shifted off into the white squares.
I mean, I did mess with the sizing because I like aligned maps to grids.
Yeah. Here, I'll take a peek at my GM account to see if I can see what you're seeing. I can see, yeah, I see it in the map. You're right. You can see it in the grid. One second, I'm gonna
Yeah.
check something here. I'm just gonna expand the map
It's
considerably.
fine now.
Oop.
Hold on. Layer, map layer. Okay, can anyone see it now?
Yeah, we can
I
see
can
it
see it.
now.
Yep.
Okay, well. As you are here, you have 60 feet of dark vision, right?
Yep.
So theoretically, you see everything here. And you see a 17-year-old huddling in one corner.
Aldrin, in his golden and angry form, slowly descends the stairs.
Okay.
He's very deliberate, and he sees the boy and he says, "Boy, are you the one?"
Yep. He
Are you-
looks up.
So you are the old priest's son.
The creature nods.
So far, it's far more civil than I was expecting.
Let me ask you something. Honestly, do you enjoy your existence?
That's a philosophical question and a half. It gives you a wicked grin.
Your father was just murdered above for his love of you, his care of you, and yet you hide in this cellar, grinning dark thoughts. Aldrin starts playing around with it, starts spinning the scimitar in his hand. I could kill you here. Give it a mercy and maybe gift for your father. But he actually looks up to the stairs and thinks, I've made a friend, one who thinks he can heal you.
I never said that. Strahd
Maybe,
said he
or maybe not. Whatever's the case.
At about this time in your little monologue, the creature's eyes grow red as it proceeds to gather that you went down here alone.
You think me alone?
Yoink.
There's a mob,
This is gonna be the
a
end
raging
of
hellfire here waiting for you outside. I suggest you stay down here and, I don't know, weep. Maybe once everything disappears upstairs, go somewhere you will never be known. And Aldrin starts walking back up, looking at the creature, dead in its eyes.
Okay, you don't get the chance to make that first step. As you see, Doro was hungry.
if this is the end of Aldrin, I'll be sad.
We will never know what happened.
No, we won't. We'll be like, he never came back, and then we're like,
And
yeah,
the
we'll
door's not locked. You know, maybe Aldrin will live.
You got some vicious combat music for us there, Jordan?
Oh yeah, has there been Strahd music playing in the background?
I didn't expect this to be a combat, but here we are.
Yeah.
No, weirdly enough, normally Doro is passive. So,
Yep, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Oh boy.
Doro uses his spider climb and just uses a dash action to intercept you. And that would be his.
And
Yep, that would be
our
his
fighter
turn.
with his -2 strength.
Well, guys, he can teleport.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Do I remember there being like a heavy cabinet or something, like in the room above?
There is a small cabinet in the room above. Yes.
Okay then. Aldrin looks at the creature and smiles at it piddly, and bonus action face steps past it above, past through the hole and above into the room above.
Okay. Let me.
Church
go.
layout.
You would be. You're. How many feet above are you going? Because this would technically be about. This would be 10 feet of movement, well, of teleportation, so you have 20 feet if you want to go anywhere else.
Can I see the outside?
I mean, you can show up outside if you flat out want. Essentially, from where you are, you have 20 additional feet of teleportation in any direction you want. Just tell me where you appear.
I'm going to appear at the front door.
Okay. Anything else?
Is
Do
the
I s-
mob
are
still
the-
there?
are- yeah, is the mob still there?
They kind of drag the priest outside of the church, so they're about 100 feet away.
Aldrin raises his blade and yells out, "Quickly to the church! The vile creature that the priest has been feeding is awakened. We must burn it down and end it rightly."
Okay, make me a persuasion. I'll give you advantage as you are literally describing reality.
Strahd said he was gonna cure him at least. At least one good thing could
He
have
said he could have.
And I asked him if he would. He said yes.
Eh.
I mean, to be fair, curing could also indicate just murdering him. We don't know.
No, I specifically said not to kill him.
But can you kill what's already dead?
Indeed. Okay, so a couple of the people in the crowd incite you, and they determine that you are in fact not full of bullshit. And a merry murder party forms.
You're gonna get a lot of villagers killed. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get a shit ton of villagers killed. So, Aldrin, for the purposes of this, here's what happens. About 40 or so villagers with pitchforks peel off and like make to reinforce you. As they are about give or take 10 to 15 feet away from you, all of them are just engulfed in a blazing fireball and instantly die as you spot a shape just appear slightly behind you and enter the church before you even have like the time to react. At which point a shocked, you hear a shocked voice just go "Father," and then what you would probably describe as a whooshing sound.
He swiftly runs back in to the church.
Okay, and the church is empty.
Their blood, body.
No.
Do I know what could have hit? Do I think it's Strahd?
I mean, you're positive it's probably Strahd, considering the quote-unquote deal he made with the Warforged to keep Doru safe and not harm him.
Ooh. Now
Wait,
you look
wait.
like a liar.
He sheaths his blade, looks around, goes back to the basement, and looks around. I don't see him anywhere, right?
Yep.
Can I search the office to see if there's any, like, I don't know, information or anything?
In the office, you would find a couple of books that Sunny and the cleric talked about. You would find let me actually double check. You would find several belongings worth about 70 gold at the sum total. Miscellaneous things like jewelry, rings, the like. And that is give or take all you find in the office.
Is there any, like, personal effects of the victims?
That is what the 70 gold worth of things are, from what you gather.
Seeing this stuff,
It would be weird for one person to have this many just miscellaneous things lying around.
seeing this, and visibly saddened, he gets up, stuffs the coins and like other, expensive stuff in a bag, and puts it over his shoulder, walks out, goes to the body of the dead priest, and I presume there's a holy symbol on him, right?
There is a holy symbol of the Morning Lord, yes.
He takes it off. He looks at it. He sighs and starts walking over to the manor.
Okay.
At this point, he's losing his like golden anger, and slowly becoming paler and colder.
So while all that is happening, he's returning to the house. Sunny will just look at look at Ismark and say, "Should we go over and try to secure the priest and ensure his safety?"
And at that point, you just hear the fireball go off.
So,
Sunny's
Braxton,
eye-
how fucked do you think the situation's bad out there?
Sunny's eyes just
Oh,
turn red for a
God.
moment. Burgermaster, should we attempt to do something?
I'm open to any suggestion you have, Sonny.
Do you think it is already too late for the priest?
I believe so.
His eyes flicker blue, and then back to red for a moment, and then back to his yellow. He says, "I see. It is unfortunate. I must learn from this, and make sure to choose my words very carefully when interacting with Strahd in the future."
I wonder what the fireball was about. That didn't seem natural.
Unclear. Should we investigate, or would you prefer to stay here and form a strategy on how to deal with the night hag tomorrow?
At that moment, he kind of looks at you with a dawning realization of like, oh yeah, Father Donovan wasn't my only problem for today. Joy.
While they're having this conversation, Braxton looks at James, just like, "All right, let's take this alcohol on the go and see what just happened."
If you insist, Sir Braxton.
Well,
Yeah.
it's either we don't go, and then we've got to go find that guy because I gotta yell at his dumb ass.
Oh, that sounds great. Let's sing a song as we go. We met them in Barovia, the land with no end.
We're all gonna fucking die.
Okay.
And that's
Eventually,
when the
you
song ends.
three meet on the street.
Wait, did Ismark go too, or are we just still having a conversation inside the manor?
Ismark wouldn't go. Like, Ismark's priority list is like, okay, make sure that everyone calms the fuck down by tomorrow, then get my men, then re-establish order. Like, those are Ismark's priorities currently.
Drink until the night, deal with it tomorrow. That is his
Essentially.
first priority.
I will assist him in this task if I can.
In the task of drinking, yes.
Not that one. But Sonny's
Guys.
saying, should we make a plan for tomorrow?
Yeah, Shetty, come with us. We're gonna go see what just happened.
Burgermaster,
Like he'll pop his head in. Sorry.
Burgermaster, will you be needing my assistance in the short term?
I do not believe so. I will start making communiques to each of my squads and essentially just battle planning for the rest of the evening. You may go around as you wish. Please be aware that city can be described as in a state of revolt. I cannot guarantee your safety outside of this house.
Duly noted. But, if I may, once we have finished our investigation, may I come back and make suggestions on the battle plans? Or at least be part of the forming of those said plans?
He nods and says, also my sister was out there dealing with the rest of the wells. She does have a sizable amount of men with her, so I'm not particularly worried, but should you meet her on the way, please tell her to come home.
Duly noted. Would you like me to inform her of the devil's appearance at your manor?
I believe one near heart attack is enough for today. I will inform her in about a year when I have enough time to process this.
Very well. I shall keep this between us for the moment. Very well, Braxton, Seamus, I shall accompany you upon your journey.
Oh, that's
Hey,
really
do you
great,
wanna-
Sonny.
Yeah, do you want a? Sorry, yeah, I lost my voice. Do you want a wine bottle so you can look like us? You know.
Yeah,
Just-
you know what?
just-
You know what?
you-
Let's go the other way around. As Seamus is a little drunk and just boops his nose, and now he looks like Sonny.
Ismar kind of gestures, and about 3 guards peel off and follow you at a respectable distance.
Wait, you look like me or I look like you?
I look like you.
Ah. So
Braxton really just stares at his wine bottle and looks back up and then stares at his wine bottle again.
are you... Does something bother you, Braxton?
Yes, Braxton.
Oh,
Is there an
God.
issue?
Oh no.
Is that what I
Oh.
sound like?
Indeed, we have a similar tone.
You make very good impressions, Seamus. I must admit, they are quite amusing.
Indeed, I try my best. Ha ha ha.
Okay, it wasn't the alcohol. Great. I'm gonna keep drinking it then.
Who said we can't have fun when the town's in uproar?
Look, at this point, Seamus is in the very mindset of this ain't my fucking problem. I just want to get out of here. This town is fucked.
We're literally playing We Didn't Start the Fire.
Yeah, we didn't
Like-
start the fire.
It was Strahd, we swear.
It's been always burning.
Honestly, death by mob is probably better than anything Strahd would have done.
I wonder if the D&D version of We Didn't Start the Fire isn't just We Didn't Cast the Fireball.
It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Yeah, but
It's been always used, and since the wizard turned their 3rd level.
considering the layout of the town, both you and Aldrin would meet fairly quickly, actually. Considering he was heading to the manor and you're heading outside the manor. You essentially meet at the center of town.
Aldrin.
Hi, Aldrin. How are you doing? Oh, sorry, Seamus. You want to take over? Feel free. I want to keep drinking.
So right now you just see 2 Sunnies at this point anyways, Aldrin.
Ah, Aldrin, it is good to see you.
Are you doing well, my friend?
Yeah. Aldrin, surprisingly enough, he looks very solemn. And like a chill starts to come off him. As he looks at you each in the eye, he looks at you each in the eye, and then he turns to the real Sonny, and
Can you
he
tell which
says
one's the real
in a
Sonny?
very the one that isn't laughing was trying to speak as a robot.
To be fair, Seamus is probably a little staggery.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And so he turns to the real Sonny. He's like, "The priest is dead," and he tosses over the beaten and bloody holy symbol.
Sonny will go
Strahd,
pick it up.
Strahd did as you promised. He snorts. He did it with the gentlest hand by making the entire city kill him instead. It wasn't a quick death. He was beaten inch by inch, by stone.
Yes, the burgomaster had informed me that this was the likely outcome after the meeting had concluded.
Did he also tell you that deal you made about his son killed? Did he tell you that Strahd would protect him by any means necessary, even if it meant killing anyone that would threaten him?
Did people try to attack the son?
Uh,
Did they even
in
know
my
where he
folly.
was?
Yes. And that is my mistake. The thing, it wasn't human. That
No,
creature
and
was a
neither are
beast.
you or I.
Yes, but you do not have the cold, dead, hungering eyes to devour, to hunt, to kill.
If you
That
are
thing
trying,
did.
if you are trying to place blame or guilt upon me for wishing the betterment of another person,
I'm not. Sonny. I'm not. I'm blaming myself. I should have burned the church instead of going inside.
in truth, I think
They
you should.
probably.
Sorry, continue.
But probably that good old Dreadlord Strahd would have just killed everyone out of spite. He spit. And I see
I
why they call him the Dreadlord. To take his own subjects like Chardo.
did Strahd kill more people, or did he just kick the guy out?
He literally
He
blew
killed
up a
four-
bunch of people with a fireball.
He blew up. He just killed 40 people.
Ah,
He's
okay,
adopted.
gotcha.
Just whatever's the case. Let's return and prepare. There needs to be some preparation if we are to slay the Night Hag.
You're saying
As he
Strahd
kind of
has killed several people in attempting to save the vampire spawn.
several, nearly 50.
Sonny's eyes go red, and he says, and these people were only attempting to kill the vampire spawn because you enticed them to, correct?
Yes, though they would have found him anyways. He wasn't that hard to find. Though I suppose it's my fault for trying to lead them in their vengeance. Though I do not know why. He didn't harm me and simply ignored me. He looks and Aldrin looks up to the roofs. What is his plan? His motives?
Seamus just kind of goes back to being Seamus after a minute, just looks at him and goes, I'm pretty sure he's just fucking with us.
All right. So it's you have about even though it's a minute early, it's time for the whole lecture thing I said in the discussion we were going to have.
Braxton, perhaps we should do this back at the manor.
Sure, but I'm going to tell you guys right now that the guy literally named the devil by people isn't usually just the nicest of people. We're going to have this discussion back there, but I need you to realize that before you decide to have another theological discussion with me. Okay.
I mean, not to
Now that's
mention
in
he
your
calls
brain.
himself Dread Lord of Darkness and all that himself.
He
Like,
literally calls himself an asshole. But yes, we need to go back inside. No, we'll
Rex,
have this conversation inside, and then you can voice your complaint as soon as we get inside.
I'm not saying that. I'm just wondering why you're calling the man who can easily hear us and is easily able to kill us an asshole in public.
Because he usually doesn't listen in and let. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be telling you something really quick. Please, for the love of everything in all of our lives, including yours, stop saying his fucking name. I know it's really easy and it's a cool name. Like, oh my god, there's a V in it? Whoa! But for God's sake, man, you said his name 5 times in the last few sentences.
Braxton,
I have. No. We have had this conversation so many times. We have established that saying his name makes it more likely for him to listen. I'm not saying that by not saying his name, he can't possibly listen to everything we're saying. I'm saying he'll just pay less attention if you stop naming him.
Braxton, you do realize he brought us here as entertainment.
He did not bring us here.
He has said as much himself.
He sent the letters.
Guys,
No,
I'm scared.
He
Guys, I'm
said that
scared.
Vistani pulled a prank. He literally said that in the conversation we had, that the Vistani brought us here. Because if he brought us here, there would have been werewolves.
And Braxton would have recognized him. Jesus.
Also, but by the way, Jordan, I'm scared that this is the second time you've asked me this, and then, but also, have we seen Irene on our walk so far?
So far, no.
Okay, cool. So we'll keep an eye out for her. Also, by the way, guys, Jordan has asked me to make 2 wisdom saves this session.
Yep, I know what that's about.
I'm scared that I am also keenly aware what this is probably. But anyway, Sunny will say, may we please return to the manor and discuss things further there. We must make a battle plan for the hag for tomorrow.
Oh, we're going to be doing a lot more than that.
I suppose. Though I doubt any of us have weapons that can harm beings immune to the mundane.
Well, I'm actually not too bad with that, so we'll see how that goes.
Perhaps if we speak to the burgomaster, he may have an idea.
Yes, let us be off then. And I suppose we get to the manor and stuff and enter. Once actually when Aldrin enters and sees what's the name? Ismark, he tosses the sack full of coins and says, "These are what remain of the dead that the good father fed to his son."
Ismark kind of examines the bag for a bit and says, I will make sure that these are properly returned to their respective households.
Aldrin nods and just sits down at the corner.
All right. So we've all gathered here. We're going to talk about the night hag elephant in the room in a minute. But first things first. We need to establish some ground rules that we actually follow, unless it will kill you, in which case don't follow the ground rules for obvious reasons, alright? Stop saying the fucking name. First rule, easiest, done. Call him by his title, say him, like, if he's there, of course, say it, because, he's right there, so he obviously knows, but otherwise, when we're referring to him, say the devil, say the dreadlord, say the lord of the castle, say the vampire fucker, say whatever else that you feel comfortable with saying. Secondly, I think it's pretty well established that the guy's bad. I'm not saying that he can't be good, Sonny, but I'm saying as of right now, he's pretty jerky.
I agree. His actions have denoted a certain evil quality to him. He cares not for life and wishes to toy with it in any way he sees fit.
Right. No,
I do
sorry.
I do wish to find good in him, but I am not so much a fool as to think that he will simply turn to the side of good.
The thing is, Sonny, I don't mind you looking for a person to look for the good in people. But to be fair, if you keep trying to find the good in them getting people killed, when does it become bad for you?
I have made note of what happened today, and I will assure you that it will not happen again. Or at least I will attempt my best to make sure it does not. I am not going to try to seek by unreasonable means to redeem Strahd if he is going to continue acting in such a manner as to harm people.
All of this case, I suppose there's no real point to worrying about it.
Well, there is one other thing. Aldrin, I'm not trying to out you. I understand that you are noble and that you have a lot of tips and a lot of good backs and forth with the man. When he asks you for advice, it is absolutely okay to say no comment. No comment, it's 2 words, and it could potentially not kill people. Okay?
Aldrin just stares at you coldly.
I'm not saying you did anything wrong, because repercussions of what you said have not yet been felt. But if you feel like that he's leading you down a trap, because let's be fair here, I watched that conversation. He was leading you around like the fucking Pied Piper. You can just say no comment. But it is still, of course, up to you. I'm not going to jump in and say you're wrong or anything. I will not try to completely stop you. I'm just saying that is some advice that you may look to in the future.
Aldrin continues to stare at you.
Oh, I'm glad you're listening. Is there any other points we need to make?
I think when dealing with Strahd in the future, we must carefully think about our words and make sure that if any such arrangements are made, that we try to think of any possible misinterpretations that he could surmise.
I'm pretty sure he'll do whatever he wants despite interpretations, but fair enough. Probably the best thing to do when dealing with Strahd is try to say as little as possible.
I feel as though this is wise.
Agreed. Eric starts dying. But yes, I'm sorry that I've gotten a little testy. I think it's the alcohol made me from mildly annoyed to really annoyed. And I apologize.
Do not feel the need to apologize. I am also filled with seething rage at this very moment.
Oh, great to know. Even the robot can get angry.
I may not show
But
it.
he has... Go on.
I may not show it due to my vows of peace. But even I have a limit to how much needless death and suffering can be inflicted. I do wish to find good in Strahd. But if it comes down to things, I will stop him, or at least attempt to do so, if proven necessary.
Well, with all that said, though, let's be honest, what's the likelihood we're going to be able to stop him? I mean, I have a feeling he could just wipe the floor with us whenever the hell he feels like it.
Let's not start talking about open rebellion or anything like that. Because even though it is an idea, that's not our concerning issue right now. Our concerning issue is figuring out what's going on here and fixing the disappearances tomorrow. I'm saying we're gonna play it by ear. It's good to have in mind, but let's just. I feel like that's a conversation we can have later, especially in a place that he was not just invited. The reason why I said wait 2 hours, by the way, is because I felt like if we didn't talk about it and waited 2 hours, he would definitely be gone by then. Because, if he evaporates into mist, then, he could just hide in a cupboard and just not leave. And then listening into whatever we talk about.
I mean, that's true enough, but in any case, our big concern here now is, I suppose we'll have to deal with the other elephant in the room, which is night hag issue.
Right.
Because,
Let us.
Oh.
I believe if we were to talk about this any further, we should consult with Ismark.
Who's been listening to this entire conversation as you are speaking in his house.
Ah, never mind. Ismark.
by
I
the way,
didn't see you there.
it's getting kind of late. Where's your sister?
I am not aware.
Should we go searching for her before we continue our strategy meeting?
I do. As much as I am worried about her, she has essentially expressed the desire to have the plague ridden by tomorrow, and she has a fairly large, sizable, Jesus, I can't
Retinue?
remember the word.
Garrison, retinue,
Yes.
guards.
An honor guard with her. So I do not believe she would be in any danger.
Well, if that's what you say, so then I'll take your word for it. But in any case, though, speaking of this night hag thing, anybody here know anything specific about him?
They mundane weapons are useless, nearly useless against them. They are intricate spellcasters, and since there's 3 of them, they have most likely formed a coven, only granting them more magical power. They're
So...
immune to both.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. They're immune to both frost and flame, and any form of enchantment is useless against them. He says this as very coldly, like just looking at a wall.
So, what you're saying is we're pretty much fucked. Since, apart from myself, I don't think any of us really use magic. At least in any sort of offensive capacity on the regular.
We may not.
I could prepare a spell that could enchant my blade so it deals extra damage of light, but other than that, I do not have much.
We may not have that much of a problem. Like I said, they're most powerful in groups of 3, but they must be very close to one another. The oldest one is going to be alone tomorrow.
You're sure of that?
Thus-
Like, she doesn't have her sisters waiting in, like, covens or something, waiting for us.
No.
They can't turn invisible or
Yeah.
something.
Strahd did promise that she will be showing up alone
Yes.
for whatever
and-
that's worth at the moment.
Well, say what you will about the devil. He always keeps at least his word. She will be alone, even though he knows that most likely won't help us.
Okay, well, that's in mind. Is there any way the hag can get away from us if we start opening fire?
I have to ask, says Ismark. A lot of the creatures in Barovia have a common weakness to silver. Do these hags share it?
Actually, he's a fae. He
DM
would know the weakness what weakness fae should have.
Yeah, the DM says yes.
Yes.
Ismark, however, does not know that.
So cold iron, yeah, whatever.
Silver.
No,
Silver,
cold
yeah.
iron is for Fey, silver is for...
They're Fey technically.
Yeah, they would be cold iron, that's the Fey's weakness.
Yeah.
What?
No.
What type of weapons do each of you prefer?
Uh,
I prefer a longsword.
a
That
dueling.
that one I can accommodate easy enough, and he unholsters one of his long swords and hands it to you, Sonny. This is a silver blade. I had been meaning to give you gold, but I believe this will be more useful to you at the moment.
Silver is precious. I thank you for this gift.
I don't suppose you have silver sabers or dueling blades.
I have 2 short swords.
Any arrows?
I believe arrows, at the very least, I can probably accommodate. He kind of nods at a guard, and a retinue of them just trail off. I will see to it that whatever we can scrounge up is provided to you at tomorrow.
Much thanks. I've also scoped out the location where she is and discovered many good places to hide and give us an advantage for the ambush.
If you would give some of my men a warning, we could set up a perimeter as well.
Yes,
I know.
was... Sorry.
Yes, and I can. Do you have a map?
You should be on the map of.
Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to like in character. I was like, "Do you have a map?" So I'll show you where where
Yeah,
she will be.
the reason why I gave you guys this map is because it's essentially in the possession of the Burgomaster. That's why I started using it once you met him.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh, okay then. So I take the map and I start pointing out the area where she was gonna be, the planned places where I'm gonna be, basically with my arrows. Yeah, firing from recommendations of where people should be and how to hide.
Okay, if I recall my module correctly, this is more or less where you meet Morganta. Yep, it is. There you go.
If I may make a
Yes.
suggestion,
Perimeter about here should do it.
I would actually suggest a bit long. I would actually suggest a bit more than that. If I may, perhaps, is there any sort of way to bound this particular creature to cease it from being able to escape?
You have cold iron?
I am 23% iron.
Yeah, it's a bit different than iron and cold iron.
Cold iron is the anathema of the Fae, as is silver to the undead. It would most likely weaken her far better than even silver, but I have a feeling it's much more rare here.
That's fair, but my big thing to mention here is we're dealing with a Fey and tricksy lots. Now, I don't know. I know a lot of Fey, like the fairies and stuff, can go invisible. Or like yourself, you do that little movement thing. I mean, what are we looking for a hag?
Well, if she thinks she can easily overpower us, she might not run, which is why we shouldn't attack with a large force.
So just like the four of us.
Uh, yes. Yes, the four of us with the perimeter guard, just making sure she doesn't escape. I suppose if we have to, we could hide, and maybe Sunny could originally approach, thus making it much more of an easier sell. That's the term you people use. And we could probably trick her into it. The problem is, if she runs, we have to deal with her quickly. And I must warn you, you must all steel your minds, for every illusion and trick she can do would only make it much harder for us to.
I ain't the best with preventing magic, but I'll see what I can do.
Agreed.
And let us hope
Perhaps,
let us hope she's just like.
if I may make a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Burgermaster. What
Yes.
What if we had, as a contingency, some of your men in the nearby buildings in the upper windows, ready to throw flour out onto the streets or some similar substance, so that we may see her if she reduces her visibility?
I could most likely arrange that.
I mean, that might work, depending. There's other issues they have, like, I don't know, teleportation or...
It is a contingency for a specific scenario, granted, but it is one that we are better off having. Would you not
Yeah.
agree?
I suppose it doesn't hurt, but they'd have to all hide is the thing, Sonny. And the more people that are there, the more we tip our hand. That could also work against us.
Yeah,
No,
she could just
this is
simply
why-
leave and we can stop her.
This is why I am suggesting they are in the surrounding buildings on the next story up. So, when given the word, they can simply throw whatever substance they have out onto the streets.
Yes,
So that we
Sonny,
may
I
reveal
get
her
it there, but here's the thing. We have to set it up, like, now. Because we don't know when she'll be here tomorrow. And a bunch of people walking into their homes with bags of flour might seem a wee bit suspicious.
I will refer to the Burgermaster. Do you believe this is a plan that may work, as you have the most information of this town?
I will set up most of my men in boarding up duty. That will make them less conspicuous, as it's become a common occurrence and she should not suspect it too much. Flour is a common enough commodity so that we should not need to stockpile it. It should be readily available in the nearby houses. I will simply requisition it.
Well, that all sounds good then.
Ismark, do you have a civiled weapon that is, finesse, so like a short sword or a scimitar or like a rapier or anything like that?
He hands you a silver short sword.
Thank you.
Yeah, any good with your... Well, I suppose you probably shouldn't pull out your ace in the hole.
Yeah, no, because there's going to be a bunch of guards. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But you can always cut yourself.
Is Mark arches his eyebrows, going, I do not mean to pry, but...
I can sprout sort of wings that deal radiant damage in an area, and that hurts people.
I
And
see.
so I can't do it while the guards are too close because I don't want to injure the guards.
I see.
And that's the truth, so it's not deception. I don't need to tell him I'm werewolf, kinda.
I mean,
You see, the original plan was, until Michael brought up the flower thing, is I was going to ask him if he has any broken silver bits, and then I just attach those to claws, go werewolf, and then turn back.
Doesn't that hurt you as a
No.
werewolf?
Nope.
He's not a true werewolf.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. I thought they still had
Yet.
vulnerability even in the case.
Not until Jordan decides to both buff and debuff me in one cool move.
Yeah.
You are now complete, Eric. Eric goes, yes, bonus stats. Shit.
Shit, vulnerability to silver. Oh no. Like, as soon as those werewolf hunters know what the fuck I am, I'm screwed. Oh.
It's fine. Richten's Lonely Tower is called the Richten's Lonely Tower for a reason.
Any case, the other thing is, since we got to worry about sort of magic affecting us, Sonny, you're capable of casting a spell that can buff us, right?
Let me have to check over my spell list real quick.
You have blessed, man. You're a paladin.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah.
Oops.
That is like the most essential spell for saving throw defense.
I can bless 3 of us if you think it will help.
I think it wouldn't hurt.
Shall it be the 3 of us who will most likely be fighting with her hand to hand?
That'd be smart.
Very well. I can have that spell prepared for tomorrow.
I'll try to stay out of the distance in the sky sort of thing. Try to be far away as possible.
Oh, if she's concentrating on a spell and there's any, like, if she does the whole flower trick and stuff, I do have a way to make it less likely that she'll be able to keep focus on that spell.
Oh, that sounds great. In any case, I
Yep.
suppose we got everything planned for this that we can.
Honestly, yes. Which is terrifying, but yeah.
Okay, so the rest of the night passes without incident.
Oh, actually, Sunny was gonna do something. If that's
Go for it.
he wants to look out over to the church. Does things look like they've calmed down by now?
The people are essentially just dispersing. Their business concluded. The town is still kind of in a uproarish state, but it's a lot calmer than it initially was.
Very well. If it is all right, I would like to head over towards the church.
Okay. Just if you want, just put your token on the map wherever you want to be, and you can more or less go there without incidents. Like, a couple of guards will follow you,
Okay.
and if people of the town proceed to attempt to stop you, they will intervene on your behalf. So if you're there, we can just use this map for brevity.
Alright. Is the church on fire? Is it still smoldering?
The fireball never actually touched the church.
Okay.
The zone right here is like ash.
Are there any bodies?
There's a suspicious amount of charcoal. Yes.
And was the priest's body in there as well?
The priest's body is like further down the road.
Are there people still like beating it?
No. At this point, like, Barovians don't have the quote-unquote beat you forever instinct. They were just like, okay, well, you're a problem to the community now, and they just did what they thought they needed to.
Sunny will procure a shovel.
Easily enough. There is actually a couple in the church.
And he would like to take the body of the priest and bring it back to the church.
Easy enough.
And he will go back out into the graveyard and start digging a grave.
Okay. Question: How deep a hole? If you don't want direct feed, you can answer me in the term of time.
I would probably wait until it was starting to get later in the evening. Like, definitely have enough time to be back at the house before sunset.
Oh no, it's not. It's not that. Like, I have something that might happen if you, uh, like, depending on your answer. I won't like cheat you out of a long rest. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. I will try to get down to a respectable distance down, uh, and still have enough time to get back. Is kind of what I'm aiming for.
Ah,
So I will.
okay.
I'm digging him a proper grave.
So 6 feet. That's generally the standard.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a shallow grave exactly.
No, it is a standard grave.
Neat. Okay. Well, as you do that, you do spot a pair of crimson eyes watching you from the distance.
I look at them. I say hello, and I will continue back to shoveling.
Okay. Both Strahd and Doro leave the shadows. Hello, Warforged.
Hello, Dread Lord Strahd von Zarovich. I am continuing to dig as we're having this conversation, by the way.
Okay. How was the situation handled, in your opinion?
I feel as though there is certainly room for improvement.
Well, Doro here did not appreciate your compatriot inciting the mob against them, and I needed to intervene. I would not have liked to be called a liar.
I have been informed of this. Though, was the fireball truly necessary?
It was either the fireball or me getting down and dirty with the local peasantry. I allotted mercy, as that was your request.
I see.
The alternative, of course, was for me to kill two of them, turn them into two of my kind, and have them do the same to the rest.
I see. I simply wish violence was not needed, and I will be speaking with my compatriot about not inciting further incidences, such as this. I recognize you have not lied to me. I just simply wish that things did not need to end with the death of so many.
Saying that, how is your preparation against the hag going?
I believe we have formed a strategy to, if nothing else, potentially ensnare her. We are preparing to use a common substance to coat her with it in case she decides to become invisible.
I see. And what if your plan backfires and more people end up hurt this time around?
Simon will stop, and he will look back up at Strahd, and he'll say, "We are doing the best we can. All we can do if things go awry is to learn from them and to move forward. I certainly hope that we are able to perform this task with no casualties. But if said casualties were to happen because we had failed to think ahead, I shall take responsibility for that in the best way that I may." And he will go back down and keep digging. If you have any advice for this task, I am more than happy to listen.
I did promise you a reward. I am still willing to give it.
I will not stop you from giving such things, though I do not ask for rewards for my work.
Very well. As he just proceeds to shove his hand in Doru's chest, just kind of mutter something under his breath, and pull out a small gemstone as Doru disintegrates.
Why did you do that?
I was going to give you your reward.
But you have harmed him in doing so.
Yes, but he was safe for a moment, and I cured him of his vampirism. He is a vampire no longer.
I called it.
If I may make a broad statement for the future,
Please.
if we are to make any further arrangements, please assume that in any way that I say or in any dealings that we have, I will always prefer it if you do not harm anyone in any manner.
I shall take your wishes under advisement. And he leaves the red gemstone right next to the hole you're digging.
Is this gem cursed?
No. As far as I'm aware, it isn't. Although some of the more esoteric properties of the mist still elude me. This should both reveal her and somewhat bind her to a location. It will attract the mists to her. And it will make the mist very aware that I am not pleased with her current existence. It will make her very uncomfortable.
And will this have any negative repercussions to anyone else?
Well, I believe if one of your compatriots is intrigued by a vestige, perhaps, but I do not believe you have been long enough to know what that even is.
Would you care to inform me?
Another time.
Very well. Before you go, I wish to ask you something. As a priest,
Yes.
do you have any regrets? Any longing regrets you wish to share?
I wish I had a more full youth. I squandered it.
Youth. Interesting. If you wish to,
And then he leaves.
never mind. Sunny will look at the gem. What kind of gem is it?
It's a crimson ruby, from what you gather.
I will pick it up and I will put it in my bag.
By the way, Seamus would like to have one word with the Burgermaster.
Yep, go for it.
Oh wait, I was hoping to finish this up before you.
No, no.
Actually, you know what? You'll be doing this while I'm having this conversation with Strahd. It's good.
I mean, Strahd's gone.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you're having
Yeah,
this conversation while I had that conversation with Strahd. You're good.
He just kind of look over at at him and goes, just a quick question there for you, Ismark.
Yes.
You were mentioning a sort of reward for all of us, and the others all got them pretty silvered swords. Something I honestly can't really use myself. I don't suppose you might have a pearl lying around worth about 100 gold?
I can requisition it, I believe, but I do not have just that sort of thing. Does it specifically need to be a pearl?
It does need to be a pearl.
Uh, well, if it was a gemstone, it would have been simpler.
I figured as much, but it's a bit of a component for spellcasting ability. You know how they work. You have to have the specific stuff.
I gathered. In the morrow, when the general store opens, have what is Bildrat. Have Bildrat give you one. I will make sure that he is aware that this is a purchase on my expense.
Much appreciated.
And for all intents and purposes, you can have a pearl worth 100 gold prior to hag fight.
Thank you. I'll just add it now because we don't really need to RP that part.
Alright. Unless anyone's got anything else?
I'm good.
No, I'm good.
So,
Are we going to this fight now? Because it's getting pretty late for me right now.
yeah, I think we're almost done for the day, right?
More or less. Like, I won't make you fight. Like, I expect this fight to be fairly short, all things considered.
How quick we die.
Yeah. Alright, so Sunny will finish digging the hole. He will place the priest in it as respectfully as he can. Put the soil back on top of the hold and he wants to try to find a plank of wood and a nail.
Easy enough.
He'll put the nail into the plank of wood, and then he'll take the amulet of the priest's amulet, and he will hang it on there. And then Sunny will get onto his knees, and he will send a prayer to Pelor. And he'll say, "Radiant God of the sun, Pelor, I know not if this man was a worshipper of yours, or another deity, but please, I know he has committed many sins, but he has done so in the name of love for his family. I do not think the people he has harmed will ever forgive him, but please look upon his soul with mercy. He was harmed in himself and confused. Please show him the light, and for the passing of his son as well. For his son is a victim in this as well, and I wish him to see your light. Watch after their souls, and those others who have died this day. And let your light one day shine upon them all, in the land of the living." And Sunny, once he has finished his prayer, he will return back to the manor. And
Okay. And we can call it there.
Woo!
First thing tomorrow, hag fight!
yeah.